Greetings, everyone. Welcome. It's chat Gauntlet Day here on Going Optimal, and we're going to pick up the Tinker's Cube. The Magic the Gathering Arena team has launched a new update to the Tinker's Cube to give us something to do while we wait for the next set, since we're kind of tired of dungeoneering right now. And so we're going to be tinkering. The nature of a Tinker's Cube is more that it's about less raw power, and more about synergy, and more about combos and building engines. And that's cool. I like most cubes, if they're built with any thought whatsoever, and I trust that this one is pretty thoughtfully built by the team at Wizards. But we're going to run it through its paces, and I'm going to do it Gauntlet style. So those of you who know what's what, we're going to be playing drafting over on MTGAdraft.tk so that we can draft and play in pod, and then we export our decks over to Arena for the actual battling. And since I've got 7 lovely viewers who've taken time out of their day to queue up, join this draft, and then play against me, I like to play against everyone. So we do a gauntlet of single game matches against all 7 of the other drafters. And the stakes are, first and foremost, honor. Who can win 4 times this week and take the week? And then we work to the bling. If chat can win 5 or 6 times, we go to the store and spend my hard ground gems on useless bling just to make things prettier. And then the worst case scenario for me is I 0-7 and cede some control over my next haircut to chat. I say some. I have already definitely saved my eyebrows because I 7-0'd chat and decided to preserve my eyebrows from any hair above the neck cutting. But I've got another 7-0, and I'll use it. I'll use that as leverage should an 0-7 ever occur. But hopefully not today. Hopefully not any day. As I always say to my competitors in the Discord, good luck to all but one of you. I'll take a 1-6 with a decent amount of good cheer, especially if I can get that 1 early on, right? In any case, we're going to hop over to left monitor as I thank my sponsor, Card Kingdom, for all of their support. If you wanted to build this cube for your own kitchen table, you could probably do it start to finish all from Card Kingdom. Their inventory is that deep. And if they happen to be missing a card or 3 from your intended list, you can use their incredible feature of a restock notice, and their turnover on content and inventory is so rapid that it never really takes long for a restock notice to trigger. So keep that in mind if you got something special on your list that isn't always in every store, or maybe is a little more expensive elsewhere, and you're hoping to wait till Card Kingdom to get it for you at a more reasonable price. They're looking to do it, and thank you, Card Kingdom. Just remember to use the various affiliate links and let them know you got there from here. Helps keep me on the air. Thanks, everybody. As you can see, this is our MTGA draft site. Pretty utilitarian, but I love that. Get just the facts, ma'am. Just the draft, ma'am. Let's do this thing and see how we're gonna tinker. I've got a list of the color pair stuff here that I'm going to keep an eye on. White, blue, flying creatures and blinking. Blue, black, discard, reanimate, saboteur. But let's, what am I looking for? As usual, I'm looking for turn over turn value or obvious 2-for-1 value. Go for blood is interesting. Suggests, is there cycling? Excuse me, is there cycling as a thing? Professor of Symbology, we love from Strixhaven. Simple burn spell here. Valmire Knight is 2-for-1-ish. There's a blink theme in blue-white, I think, that you could do. Mirari's Conjecture is an interesting place to start. That's value town if you build around it. Silumgar's Command is just value packed into a single card. Got a Planeswalker. We should check this out. So 4 mana Planeswalker plus to make a 1/1. That's turn value. Warrior equipment. I kind of like, I'd be willing to take a build around like this first and see if we can't make that work. A lot of red to potentially wheel for this. Yeah, the scythe. Interesting as well. Yeah, you could build around that for sure. Maybe I'm being greedy to pick a 2-colored spell first, but it's got a plan. I like that it has a plan, but so does the Conjecture. Yeah, I'd be surprised if they put Embercleave in here. It seems like it defies the purpose of this cube. Maybe I'm going to take the Conjecture. It's a bold first pick, but if we end up here, it's really fun. I'm not going to marry it, though. We'll see if the tools remain. Kind of like a staggering insight. Just go blue-white skies auras. Reclusive Painter here. Experimental Overload does the thing for sure if we just want to go right into the spells deck. This is certainly a reasonable follow for where we started. We could also take something like a Night Veil Sprite just on the sheer quality of it. And then it still works well with our first pick in terms of being blue and finding us what we want. Yeah, spells is just fun, right? And I think we could potentially wheel this. If nobody else is, like, if this doesn't wheel, we're probably in the wrong lane anyway. I'm going to take the Night Veil Sprite. But I am tempted by this insight. And then we could potentially wheel, like, Adjust the Wind. The Overload, I'm hoping to come back. Hope to come back if we continue down this Conjecture path. It's tough not to get married in Cube just because everything is so good. It's easy to find things to follow up with that usually match your theme. Although, honestly, not here. I mean, this is a spell, I suppose. But doesn't seem hyper powerful. The Lightning Spear would have been a nice pickup for the Planeswalker we passed. Take a Hallowed Fountain, because casting spells is good. If we think we're blue-red, though, we could even take the Gadrak as just a reasonable body. Blue-black land also here. Blue-black spells could potentially work even with the Conjecture. Heartless Pillage. Oh, sorry, that's not... I was thinking that was Heartless whatever, the removal spell that we have been seeing a lot of in Standard. I am wanting to keep an eye out for removal. Like, Containment is a thing. But it is not... doesn't play well with the Conjecture. But neither does much here other than the Hornswoggle. I just don't know if that's worth taking over just a Hallowed Fountain or a land. Or, you know, a creature land. Yeah, I'm going to take Hallowed Fountain. Stolen by the Fae is pretty powerful. And works with the spell thing. Works with Conjecture. Enthusiastic Study would be an interesting wheel there. White, blue land. Welding Sparks and Channeler both kind of fit in the spells theme. Channeler more synergistically, Welding Sparks is just removal that does the thing. But I'm going to go ahead and take another blue card, try to at least carve out our blue lane here. Cast this, get it back with Conjecture seems real good. Haven't seen any lessons yet, but as I understand it, there are 4 copies of some lesson. Which one is it? Anyway, we'll probably see it eventually. There you go. Expanded Anatomy is a lesson. That could work for, you know, lessons would do well for this deck. I have a Hallowed Fountain. We could also just take the Guard Mage. There's a pathway. Really, Vizier of Many Faces, though. Any creature, like, I love any. It's not just ours. 4 environmental sciences, and then obviously at least some of the other ones hanging around. I think I'd taken Vizier again. Cut the blue. It's a powerful effect. Seems fine. Right now, the Conjecture isn't great here, though. So I don't want to presume I'm a spells deck if we're not. We could just drop the Conjecture and be currently blue-white skies. I say white just because blue-white skies is a thing, and we have the Hallowed Fountain. So yeah, we're seeing lots of the lessons now. Divide by 0. If we pick up this, we need to make sure we get one of these lessons. The teachings could be that side of thing. I think, what's this? This is like Minotaur Lord. Minotaurs matter. Siege Gang, interesting. Yeah, Commander is good, but I'm going to stick to the Divide by 0, and maybe we can pick up one of these lessons. And if nobody else is in blue-white, we might wheel some of these dual lands. I don't know about a last pick Temple or whatever, but maybe. Yeah, Attendant is totally legit if we were 100% skies, but again, I'd rather stick with the Divide. Potentially set us up to still cast the Mirari. You don't need to be a dedicated spells deck to run this. You just need to have kind of 3 to 4 of each instant and sorcery, and then I think it's fine. You just need to be very likely to have one of each in your graveyard by turn 8 or 9. Now we get a Glacial Fortress to continue the option to get lands for the blue-white, but we can also just take a Think Twice and again carve out the Conjecture lane and the blue lane, and I'm going to do that. A lot of white-blue dual lands flowing around. Flame Painter. It's funny, I can't right-click on it as it's doing the transition. Yeah, I didn't mention it, but it's certainly workable with the spells. If you're doing the spells that augment power, it's fine. Jeskai Elder is kind of another Night Veil sprite of sorts. What is this? Riddlemaster Sphinx. When it enters, when you return target creature and opponent controls. Okay, so a 5/5 flying Mana War for 6. That's much better than a 2/5, right? How about 3 extra power at rare from the one in AFR. Containment Breach could be findable if we were green. Maybe Body Double or just the top end. But yeah, I think, let's see. It's graveyard. Yeah, let's just take the Elder. And I'm going to try and lean into it. Probably going to end up red from here if I do this. Now we're back to our first pick. Well, we can take this command. Go for Blood is here. If we want to do the red thing, we take Warden and get up in the air. Skies and Spells. Mono blue Spell Skies. Something like that. Or just take the command. Kind of like taking the command and continuing to move towards a spell-heavy Conjecture deck. I'm going to do it. Here's that experimental overload that did indeed wheel. We can grab that, or just the wind. But not like we're really doing the madness thing. So we'll just take the overload. We might splash one of these two and have black or red be the... Or we can just do Grixis. Grixis control spells is a thing. In general, in Cube. And for a heavy blue with a light touch of some other... Although the Hallowed Fountain isn't doing anything right now. But then we get a Drowned Catacomb saying... How about me? Well, I like that better than a Thriving Moor here. Hornswoggle. Considered it the first time around, but I'm going to pass it for mana here. Kind of a heavy blue double splash is a way we could head here, but if we get... Well, we'll see what comes. The next pack is going to tell us what our prospects are looking like for red and black, but obviously we know we're blue. That's a fine place to start. Deadly Dispute versus Timuret. Creature Enchantment. Timuret Calls the Dead isn't quite doing what we're trying to do. I think we just take the Deadly Dispute. It's not really doing what we're trying to do either, other than it being an instant. But, I mean, we don't have anything like, yes, this is what I'm going to self-sacrifice and be happy about. But it's still the pick here. Thwart the Grave versus, what's this Marauder? Can't block. Oh, it has Cascade. Has Cascade if you got Delirium. Well, we're just going to take Thwart. I don't necessarily think we're playing it, but we'll take it. Hey, Teachings came back. That's good. Glad to see that. And throw that in the board, and now we have something to get with Divide by Zero. All right. Choking Tethers. Blink. Subtraction. Curator of Mysteries. The Sudden Storm here. I'm looking at Curator. And then accepting whatever we wheel from Choking, Blink, or Arcane. I think all of those could wheel. We could just take the Blink, though. But Curator of Mysteries is... oh, maybe this isn't even what I was thinking of. Maybe this isn't worth it. Like, cycling seems to be a little sub-theme here, but I thought this was the one where if you had it in your opener, you got to, like, scry 3 or whatever. Now I just kind of want the Blink. Take the Blink and wheel whatever. Yeah, I think if it were a Sphinx of Foresight, I would take that. That seems worth it, but this seems a little off plan, and Blink seems on plan, so I'm going to do that. Thrix was... I thought the other one was Thrix. So I thought one was the Sphinx of Foresight, and I thought the other one was Thrix, and neither was correct. There you go. Curiosity, you know, that blue-white enchantment never wheeled, and here's a Curiosity for someone if they want to keep doing that. We can take a Feed the Swarm, though. Spark Harvest is another option. This can take out planeswalkers, but we're not going to really have we don't have a self-sacrifice thing going, so Spark Harvest is largely going to be a 5-mana removal spell for us at this point. I could take Krenko on raw power and the fact that we're looking to potentially be red, but removal that feeds into our Conjecture is fine by me. I think I'm just going to take the feed. Try to remember that it can get enchantments too. It's a weird factor of that card. Slither Blade, looking to wear that Curiosity and that Insight card. This is kind of garbagey for us. I think we're looking at Evolving Wilds or one of these red cards. Harvester, I don't know. Dragon Rage Channeler, whenever you cast non-creature spell, surveil one. Okay, so we can take this and try to get there. But I kind of like the Wilds pick, especially, I mean, if there is a Delirium thing going on, Evolving Wilds is nice for that. Maybe we wheel one of these. Dragon Master Outcast is just kind of random goodness. It's not really synergistic other than it's powerful if you get to 6 lands. And this is being a madness thing doesn't impress me. So yeah, it's Evolving Wilds or this Channeler. And I'm hoping we actually we'll wheel something here. Let's take the Wilds, cast our spells. Not the land we're looking for. Sandbar, not bad. Snow Day, though. I like Snow Day and Bake, as looks like we're heavier black with where we're headed here. We still might play the Overload, but yeah, Henny's expertise actually is also considerable given that. Maybe I just want the expertise and we have a little bit of sweeping power in here. And if any of this stuff came around, whether it's Sandbar, Dispute, although Dispute, not really where we're at, but Sandbar, Bake, and Snow Day would all be fine wheels, and there's a Terramorphic Expanse I wouldn't mind wheeling as well. But yeah, I'm going to take a little mini sweeper. That feels like a good thing to have in my back pocket. Baron Moore. Animating Fairy could be the 3 we're looking for. Oh, never mind. Sorry, I thought that was the counterspell one. We're not really doing this thing. We're not doing that thing. We could do this and just have a Ken, you better get it. Like I said, this is a one card Wrecking Crew. It just must be answered. We are black blue. I mean, we could just kind of backdoor into this and self-mill with the Conjecture doesn't hurt. Surveil. Yeah, it's your graveyard, but probably don't need to take that here. I think we take like a Baron Moore or just the 1-card combo. Yeah, it's fine. It's okay to have no creatures if we have the interaction. The real concern is, do we have enough interaction to have no creatures, to have low creatures? And probably not. Oh yeah, I see what you mean, Pablo. Yeah, but that's why another reason I'm not taking. I'm going to go ahead and take my Dungeoneer. Pathway for the double splash, Fabled Passage to get anything. Hall of Oracles is kind of our thing, right? We could actually use this quite a bit. So is this, though. Kind of want to try to make... Well, the other pathway is green. There's a Blood Crypt, though. I would take Blood Crypt over the pathway, right? This would help a double splash. Maybe this is the pick. But I don't know if we're doing enough of the... I mean, yeah, it might have decent power, but are we discarding one or more cards often? I don't think so yet. So I'm going to take the Blood Crypt over the Hall of Oracles here. Now what do we got? Compulsive research. Hard to pass that. This is interesting, but I think I just want the research. Yeah, taking research. I don't know if we're playing this thwart. We do need more of a creature component before that is relevant. Want to make sure we pick up some high-end, some top-end win con stuff. Usually that stuff is free and easy to pick up late, but we don't want to be without it. Storm Giants seems like a good land to have. Dowser, though, is a 2-for-1 that does our thing. Double Vision, really trying to do our thing, but I don't know. Yeah, and then 1,000-Year Storm. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, copy it for each other instant or sorcery spell you've cast before it this turn. Is that a thing? I feel like this is the more simple what we're doing. These are more complicated what we're doing, and then this is just kind of raw power. I feel like both of these might be traps. I mean, if you can... they just both seem like win more for what we're trying to do. So I think it's Hall or Dowser. And I'm going to take the Dowser, even though I think you're right, Hall is a solid win con. This Curator came back. We're not doing this. So it's Subtraction or Curator. I mean, this isn't the best win con or anything, but I'll take it over an Arcane Subtraction, I think. Well, we have Divide by 0 to unlock our lesson. So we already have one learn card. And this survives the -3/-3. That's one consideration for creatures I pick up from here. So I'm going to take the Curator. Guess we can take the Relic. We're low on 3s, and ramping to 5 wouldn't be the worst. Fixing our colors if we're 3 colors. I'm not going to bank in anything else here. Enchanted Carriage isn't where I want to be, so I'm taking the Relic. Yeah, I looked at Carriage, but are we really running that happily? Like, I don't know. I want more creatures in general before I'm running vehicles. Like, you kill my mice and then what? And we did get this Channeler back, so that's cool. Take that. Although I don't know if we're playing red 1-drops, right? What is this? Yeah, this is very artifacty. That's not us. All right, we'll take the Channeler and we'll see. Don't know about this red, though. Yeah, it's a 4/4. Exactly. It's 4/4 that makes its own crew, and then the crew dies, and then you got nothing. That's my worry, anyway. Academic Dispute is all well and good, but a Sandbar is going to be better, I think, for what we're up to. Cyclable Land seems nice. Illuminate History over Feign Death. Gotta love that my boy Feign Death is here in the cube. But we don't have much death to feign. Dowser would be fun. Is that a loop? Is it exile? Yeah. Feign Death, Shipwreck, Dowser, infinite loops. I'll take this, though. We might be able to cast that. And a pathway that we're not currently going to play. Blood of Tears, last pick. I love it. We're running that. Vorpal. Good land. Expel to keep us going. Waker to have a, win con. Rankle, somewhat of a win con too, although it dies to our sweeper. What's the flip side here? Hammer. Good old Sangir Vamp. Not really what we're looking for. So I'm kind of thinking mana or Waker or Expel. Maybe Rankle's just good enough to run, though. Well, I'm thinking we might wheel the Pathway. We did wheel the Drowned Catacomb. Someone might take it if the pack is feeling light, but we also have Dark Dwellers to survive the -3/-3 and to rebuy spells, but we're not heavy red yet. Not that we couldn't be. So where am I? I'm currently on Waker in terms of what I have reserved. Mike just likes the power of Rankle. I'm hesitant because of the minus. It's a non-bow with our sweeper, but again, it might just be powerful enough to go for. And then getting any of this on the wheel would be fine. Pathway, Expel, or Waker. All right, Mike, I'll give you this one. We'll take Rankle. It was close to the top. I just didn't like its interaction with the sweeper. Murmuring Mystic is a payoff for the spellcasting we're trying to do. I think that's fine. Mystic can produce some fodder for Rankle as well. Survives our sweeper. Not that the 1/1s do. Let's do it. I'd like that Steam Vents too, though. I was eyeing that. The Hive also. Passing these creature lands is tough. They'd be good in this deck. But I feel like we've been taking good things instead. Temple for the mana. Augur or Maze Mind, though, for the control-y side of town. Do we actually have enough instant sorcery for the Augur? Like we're on 5 instant 7 sorceries right now. Yeah, I'd be on Tome over Augur for a 2-drop. I do want this Temple. But, we might not even play red. We can just be blue-black control. I'm taking the Tome. I like an Opt when you're running the Mirari. It's nice to just have something easy peasy, replace itself power. Consign to Oblivion is probably going to be there for us. I feel like we're the only Dimir drafter, and this doesn't seem good enough for somebody to take unless there's just nothing else in the pack and they're just trying to cut something. We also take Horde Robber, try to get it going, but I'm going to just stick to the spell guns here. Even though our payoffs for that aren't huge, we're really just like the Conjecture is the big spell payoff. But there's also nothing wrong with just having a spell-heavy control deck, which is where we're headed here. You like the Charmbreaker Devils? That's pretty good too, yeah. I should have considered it, you're right. But I bet we might wheel this Deep Thought. We'll see. But I should have... I'm thinking in terms of Dimir right now, so the red card didn't really leap out at me, but it would have definitely been worth talking about. What's this? Affinity for tokens. We are going to make some... This deck does make tokens, but I don't think we're going to try to do that angle. Can take this. What's going on here? Each player puts the top 4 cards of their library in their graveyard. Return up to 2 instant or sorcery cards from your graveyard or hand. Yeah, and you can... So this kind of... This is like a mini Conjecture, right? And we do have some card draw already with Compulsive and Think Twice. So I don't know if we need to take like Foreboding Fruit, especially since we're going to be heavier blue than black. So I'm going to take Bond. Draw all the cards. Yeah, Mystic is the other payoff. You're right. Anything else, though? Like, nothing else really cares. I mean, we have Jeskai that has prowess, but it's not really, when I'm talking payoff, what I'm talking about. Eight sorceries, 6 instants. So now the Conjecture is getting to be quite good. Although, again, I think we're probably cutting the thwart here. Now we've got a Gust of Wind to continue the spell theme if we want. But Hedron Archive, Portal of Sanctuary. What do we want to bounce? We can probably just play Baron here. Staying alive, you know. And then if this wheels, then we might consider it. This isn't bad either for this type of deck, just dropping a shock that blocks. Shock blocking beats. I'll take Baron. Spectral Sailor for the Value Town, or Silent Departure for the ongoing spell count. Creative Outburst, Myers Grasp for some removal. It's not instant or sorcery, but it kills some stuff. We don't have a ton of interaction yet. Kind of appeals to me on that front. I think it's Sailor or Grasp. Since I might not play red at all, the Creative Outburst is falling off for me there. Looking forward to seeing who's going to do the Curious Obsession, the Curiosity enchantments. We've seen 3 of them now. I feel like Sailor is doing a thing we already have, a job we already have going in terms of the card draw. So I kind of want Silent Departure or the Grasp. I took Silent Departure. It all wound down. Well, Environmental Sciences here does not suck. Sangromancer, not really what we're doing, although it is a 3/3 flyer for 4. Skeleton could defend and come back, but it's not really on plan. What's this spinner? I don't even know what this is. Whenever you cast a spell with mana value 4 or greater, create a 1/1 Thopter token with flying, and that's on a 3-drop. We're doing some of that, but this feels a little out of place. I'm just going to take these Sciences. All right, we did in fact wheel the Pathway, and we wheeled everything, like everything. So what do you want? Waker, Pathway, or Expel. I did just pick up a Silent Departure, so maybe Expel, not where it's at, but Waker and Pathway leap out. Our mana isn't amazing. Might just want the Pathway. I want to make, like, this does feel like a win con that I want, but I think we have enough. We can find ways to win one of these games, especially if we can cast our spells. Here's the Steam Vents, so I could still consider the red for just an Overload and a Channeler, although that again seems a little weak. We got Dream Strix though. Dies and learns. Yeah, I'll take the Strix, I suppose. Since right now I think I'm just cutting the red anyway. This is not going to be in. We get this Epiphany, though. It's trying to get me to play say, here's some free red. More free red for you. I don't think we want an Ominous Sphinx. I don't think that's good enough. So I'm taking the Temple and keeping the lane open. Although Augur might actually get there in this deck. Where are we at right now? 8-6. We got 14. That's still tough for the Augur to be a sure thing. So we'll take Temple. And then really reconsider this Overload and the Channeler. Well, I don't know about Channeler. You really want to cast that early. Thank you for the sub. Dragster, are we ever doing that? No, we're not ever doing any of this. I'm going to cut Path. And not running any green, so I'll take the Junk Winder, even though I don't think we're doing that either. The Thwart, I think. Although I should look at our creature types. If we happen to have a bunch of party-style types, it could be worse. I don't think we have enough going on for... Yeah, we are making some tokens. It just feels like... But is that really what we want to do? Well, I got Outburst. Now we can consider the red with the Epiphany and the Environmental Sciences. But this deck needs some cuts. Boy, let's start by cutting the land just so I understand where I'm at spell-wise. Excuse me. I think I should just be grown up about it. Maybe play the Overload, but not the 1-drop. I think the Overload is fine. Outburst needing double red is a little more oppressive. But we could splash the single Overload. And Blink is like trying to be a 4. Kind of want the Flood of Tears is doing something that nothing else in the deck can do, but now we're getting in oh, Portal can go, I think. We're not really doing that. Even get rid of this Relic. I love this card in the abstract, but maybe it's not right for this deck. We're going to cut it and we'll think about it. Maybe we'll run it in some of the games. Dispute. Where's the dispute? Deadly Dispute. Yes, interesting. We are going to create some tokens that we can get with this, but that's fair. I want to cut too many of our instants and sorceries, but we're at 13 here, which is still plenty good to trigger the Conjecture, give us something to get with the Dowser, and make us some birds. I think that really should be the end of that. But now we're only into one more cut anyway. This is more of a high drop. Probably something out of the 4 slot. Maybe we got Vizier, Curator, Bond. Bond is more cutting of instant and sorceries that I wouldn't love, though. Best of 1, I could make an argument for just going with the 16. But with top end and card draw, I don't think I want to do that. I think we want to have 17 here. So I got to come up with a cut. guess I could. I mean, the only thing Curator of Mysteries is doing is trying to win us a game. Same with Vizier, except it can copy any creature, which I like. Yeah, well, that's what I mean. That's it. The deceptive count is one reason just not to cut any more of them. I mean, I still think we have plenty to make our synergies work, but not if we do more cutting from that area. So, kind of like cutting the Curator or the Vizier. And counting on our other stuff and our overwhelming and ultimately attrition. How do we win? Attrition, like with whatever we have left. So I think I do cut that. A little thick at 4, but this is okay. Yeah, that was why it was on my list to potentially cut. But I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to go with this, see how it goes. Bring back the Crypt. This. No, that does not play. This does, that does not, this does, this does. And 1, 2, we want 1 mountain for the Evolving Wilds. And then probably this. I'm going to start here. Okay. Simple import. Let's just do that. I'll trust you. Yeah, they did another update later last night, so it's possible some of our third-party tools aren't quite connecting right to the latest and greatest here. That's all right. Whatever. We'll take it as simple should get it done, right? That's fine by me. Pure Conjecture. It's a little spoilery, but it was also pack 1, pick 1, so it won't spoil too much for too long. Let's see if there's anything in the sideboard that's rare that I know I'm not ever going to play. Curator of Mysteries we might bring back in, so I'll craft that. No problem, Hat. Thank you for the update. Let's check for bling redemptions. Xanthar sleeves for Hat. Let's do that. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Appropriate enough for the color pairs here. 1 mountain. I think this looks good on the land count. 137. Yvonne full. Twist my arm. We did look at the Siege Gang, but it went around. Somebody got a late Siege Gang. So this would give us black sources 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blue sources 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And red sources 1, 2, 3, 4. 12, 7, 4. With divide by 0 basically providing an extra for everything. Just trying to figure out if we need to be 11, 8 instead of 12, 4 with the expertise and the master. I think I like 11, 8. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11's a lot of sources, right? I think that's good. So I'm going to call this a deck. And round 1 is ready. Cardlinger. Let's go. Well, what do you think, gang? If we played this out 1,000,000 times, what would my average win count be? Well, I like this start. We get to start surveilling, and we have blink and some stuff at the top end. I like it. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Nice. Island Swamp Nightvale Sprite takes me back. Bot GRN. Probably thinking twice for our turn here. I'm going to send the Sprite. Do some surveilling. Ooh, we'll keep that. Just keep bouncing, right? Practically makes me want to blink, but I think we just we can think twice and blink here. So that's probably what we do. Hey, I don't really do the wagering, but the mods are pretty open to, just suggest some wagering to the mods, and maybe someone will hook it up. But I am going to think twice to draw our bounce since it's sorcery speed, and I'm going to send that Sword Tooth back. Well, Expanded Anatomy not going to be the worst against us in our various bounce spells. Kind of want to Vizier it. But we can also hold up Blink. Especially with the potential Anatomy. I think I like holding up the Blink. Although they know we've got the Departure, so they're probably going to try to hold the Anatomy for a while. And what does that leave me wanting to do? I think Mountain and Surveilling Sprite, unless I want to. Yeah, if I was going to copy this, I needed to do that first. But I am going to hold up. So let's ship this. Jeskai Elder. I don't think it's exactly what we want here. We want to go for more power. I don't like necessarily ditching action. and then potentially drawing a land instead, but I do like looking for higher drops at this point in the game. And with the blink, we're just going to pass here. Future spells can't be countered. All right, they might go for a fight, in which case we have blink. Let's see what they want to do here.
Oh, I wish you could see your face while I'm beating you.
Interesting. So now I think I like blinking the Sword Tooth, keeping this on the battlefield so that I can copy it and then haste into Domri. I'm going to take this, I'm going to kick this, bounce that. And now Temple, we'll do a Scry. Huh. Yeah, we want that. And I'm going to go through with this plan. What do we want? Let's take this one. We do have the double red, right? We have double reds, so let's take this as our, we can pitch a bunch of lands. Still want that.
Now you're getting the spirit.
Dropping low on life, but kind of have a plan for next turn to create at least a bunch of chumps. Oh, I'm in the wrong place to do memes anyway. Here, let's hop over here.
I bow to no one.
Let's try to find any kick it meme here.
Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Well, I'm going. Go on.
Ouch, muscle. Gonna hurt. All right. Well, now we gotta steal this thing. They get to relearn, but we take off the counters, make a bunch of chumps, and that's generally a good turn for us. We could also just silent departure it. Wish there was a way to get this thing dead rather than leave it at 1. I'm not seeing it this turn. So I'm going to go Catacomb and Retriever Steel. Rankle will do with all of our spare critters.
Nothing disgusts me more than law and order.
See if they've got more lessons or... Oh, wow, they got the big one. All right, all right. Well, we got a lot of bounce, at least. Silent Departure can get one. Drowser can get bounce back. I think Dowser getting back stolen by the Fae, kind of interesting. But now we do need to also make some blocks, or we're just dead. I think we just throw all this in front. At 4, I can't really take much here. Wow, learning a lot from Cardliner here. But now we can go Vizier, copy Prof, and Evolving Wilds. Maybe I need to Dowser, though. Although, like, we really need to copy here so we can block. So I'm going to do that. Might have to give up the Sprite on a Chump. Well, what does Rankle get us? What we play Rankle and then what? So we got this 3/3. Sack 1, 2. So we attack. Well, you can just block Rankle, right? If we attack and they block with Rankle, then what are we doing? We're just losing to the Professor trampling. So I don't see what Rankle does with when they have the Phoenix block. So I'm going to go with the Vizier play. And we can take Teachings to get some life back and draw a card to illuminate history with. It's either that or Rummage. So I'm going to go ahead and take the life. Infinite value, but not infinite life. We'll see if I can live long enough to extract the value.
We will rise again. No more getting pushed around.
Uh-oh, looks like they saw it. But are we dead? Yeah, we're dead. Good work.
He's dead, sir.
That man's dead back there.
Must be dead. He was worse than dead. His brain is gone.
Could not extract value before dead. Next up is Dominate. Hopefully he won't. Good game, Cardlinger. Nice deck. Had Value Town forever, but couldn't deploy it before I was dead. It's true, Domri kind of won that game, didn't he? I really lost to Domri effects affecting the board, both the power and just distracting me, like commanding my attention that way. Don't love the lack of a 2 here, but a clean 3 And then any land getting us into Murmuring Mystic into payoff seems fine. Whoops. Looks like user error. All right. If my hand sucks, though, I'm going to be mad. If I go 07 today, this game, this here, I don't know. I'm kind of tempted to play the hair toss meme, but I'll just win fair and square. Here we go. I'm going to make the asterisk moot. That's the plan. Asterisk. Asterix. I have fond memories of those comics. I said I didn't love it, but it was a clear keep. Whereas, I mean, this is fine too. But imagine if I'd gone from that into Mole to 5, right? That's the thing. This looks good though. That's combo E. I could play the Opt, but let's just Temple and Scry. Look for a Swamp. Don't need a mountain, really. Got our red already. There is a double red out of the board that we can get lesson-wise, but... Mystic says, hold off if you can, but we're probably going to think twice at the end of Oppo's turn here. Aye, Captain. Let's see. Might be worth... I think we just blink that, actually. Before combat. Prevent the treasure and set the aggro deck back a turn. And... I'm gonna... really, it doesn't matter. I guess I'm gonna play the island and then we think twice and opt. Yeah, I mean, I could, but really, we're just looking for a swamp. I guess it matters if I find an ETB tapped swamp. That's fair. So, yeah, that's what Mike's point that I arrived at as well. So, you say think. I'm going to go opt first and then hold up think. Yeah, we got to bin that. Looking for black. Too bad. I like the Dowser. There's the black, and it doesn't have to enter tapped, but we can save some damage by letting it enter tapped, so I'm going to do that. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, think is still an option here, and maybe I should even do it, but I kind of like entering tap to go Mystic and then having the think for the Mystic if it lives. And Feed the Swarm is not an instant, right? Because that would kill this. So yeah, I'm just going to blood tapped. But also, if we had done think twice, would have just drawn the Dowser anyway. All right, great stuff from Nate, and we are trying to mitigate. Let's see. If we go Island Mystic, Captain actually threatens killing block on the Mystic, so we'd have to basically take 3. But then we could feed the Swarm and think twice and command and really start getting the Mystic going. So I'm going to risk for Biscuit and play the Mystic and see if we can't untap and get our game on. And if Mystic dies here, well, then we've got Feed the Swarm or Command next turn. So, Mystic is so important, I'm trying to decide whether to believe this Painter attack. Feels like this is just Nate knowing that I don't want to risk my Mystic. I can't block with Captain or it's dead. I could block this. What are the consequences? I don't know what's in the cube that punishes damaged creatures, that kind of thing. It's possible Nate has a 4 damage spell, in which 1 is just enough to get it dead. I'm not going to risk it for 1 point of damage. So if that was a bluff attack from Nate, well done. Good read. Alt win con there. We could just actually hold on to Feed and take that out if we need to from there. We can go Command here to take out Captain. What does this do? Permanent, counter target non-creature spell, return permanent, or yeah, we could Command and bounce the Revel. Yeah, in a sense, it's a free attack. Although, I mean, did I have mana up? I guess I had like 1 mana up. It could have been something on our end. So we can make a 1/1, kill the Lannery and bounce a treasure, or just bounce the Revel. Down to 2 cards. Yeah, that's true. We can do this all at instant speed, and maybe they come up with a non-creature spell for us to counter. If we do let Nate attack, though, Mike, we are giving him 1 more treasure. So, but by blocking, we kind of force Nate to use 2. All right. Well, now I like just kill Lannery, bounce Elendra, right? Target permanent to its owner's hand. And target creature. I don't think it should matter because it should bounce at the same time it dies. Maybe I've screwed up and I didn't think Elendra would work with this, but if so, I maybe messed it up. But we'll find out. Right on. Order of the card. They do have the Cauldron, yeah, so they might just go for a sack there at least, but then bounce there, and that's okay. We're just trying to get up in the air here. I think I think twice to start, and then decide whether we're going Sprite or think twice again. Got a land, we're going to play that, and now with 4 mana, we could just Vizier our Mystic. I think I like that. If possible, I'm going to hold the feed as a potential out against Revel. But right now, the Revel seems far off. Of course, if Nate has a sweeper and sweeps away some birds, could get to 10 treasures right quick. This is the updated Tinkerer's Cube that just hit Arena. We drafted it on MTGA Draft, but it is on Arena. Good to know at least the dealing with the Mystic was that important. Too bad Nate figured it out and killed the one that we couldn't turn into yet another copy of the Mystic. But I am on board now for Think Twice to get another bird and to plan the rest of the turn. Stolen by the Fae is going to come in useful, even if it's just a bounce a Perilous Mirror. Probably going to bounce a Dusk Rose, though, again. And let's send our flyers and drop another one. I'm going to play the Sprite here. Could have played the Tome as well, but I'm actually looking to try and get power in the air and start turning this to our favor damage-wise. Yeah, Stolen by the Fae is going to give us quite an air force. They would actually set up a sweeper win with Revel, which is really why I want to keep this, feed the Swarm. Ah, shoot. Well. Got all of our Mystics. Made him work for it, though, and we still have a bit of an air force from that, and Stolen by the Fae is going to add to it. Dreamstrix, interesting as well, but I'm in for the Fae bounce Elendra. Sandbar, might as well pre-cycle it. The Mystery Booster is booster-based Chaos Draft for sure. I like what Mike has to say there. Yeah, just trying to get there with these flyers and hope Nate doesn't have sweeps. We don't really have any counter magic in this deck. Four, five, six, seven. Can't quite do Vizier Dreamstrix, but we can Maze Mind and Dreamstrix. That's and Elder even. Can still kind of dump hand, but let's attack first. And do I have enough behind to not worry about the ground game from Oppo? I am gonna play Strix and Elder. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can leave one flyer back and not change the clock in the air. So I'm gonna keep one blocker back since it doesn't change the clock, as Hat observes as well. Compulsive Research, I'm in for that. We'll keep that. That suggests keeping a land wouldn't suck, but I kind of want to dump the hand here, so I'm going to try to find a land for the research off the research. 1 control. Well, it doesn't say reach on it. That's the main thing. Dominate, looking to gain some life. A lot of it here. Fair enough. About to go to 15. So now look, I gotta feed this. That's the answer. Yeah, but is it power based? It's mana value, so we take 4. We can deal with that. And we will chump a flyer as opposed to I mean, if the Dreamsticks dies, we can go get a lesson, but I don't love the lessons. Well, we have we can gain a couple life. We can draw a couple cards after we feed. I think. I don't think we do yet. I think I'm just gonna take the 1 or just chump. Now, what does she say when she dies? Ugh, it is not great because we're just going to create another huge lifelinker. So, we are actually in trouble. I'm going to compulsive to try and find... We need 2 answers. Well... Yeah, they don't fly though, right? They're at least we can eat them. We still have to do it. But I can go ahead and... Let's... Scry. And even though Compulsive would like a land for the pitching, I really just want to dig. And I like that auto tap, so we'll let that happen. Yeah, bounce would be great. There's Flood of Tears. We'll discard this land card. We can't cast Flood of Tears yet. We can play the Pathway. We could even Vizier if we wanted and make a Glen Elendra. But this is the toughie. All right, I'm going to feed... Yes, it's going to wipe both, but hey, we live. I got to do this, though. Probably attack with some of them. But they get to re-equip and make another huge lifelinker. It's just a problem, which is why we do have to fall back on the Flood of Tears. And I'm gonna send, let's see, with 10 of those at 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just deciding if we're attacking with anything here. And I think I send the Dreamstrix and the Night Veil Sprite, and then we have enough chumping to survive. Rough, though. Thought I was in control here, and now not feeling it. We're going to keep that, though. If we can survive the turn, that's going to be a big help. because the flood is coming.
Oh, here comes the flood.
Jim wants to keep it all back. Ooh. That just got ugly. What can be sacrificed? Yeah, now we might just be dead. It's not even a combo with Revel. It's just a combo with, well, yeah, it's a combo with, it's a combo not in the win the games, like, alt win con combo and just wipe my board, say. All right, we'll let Dominate do it, have the fun. But we are now dead. Yep, if I had been able to play the game as intended, I would have won. I have the asterisk.
Oh, it is true. You want me to fight?
Machine gun combo gets it done before we can reset. Was I supposed to just... I didn't have the flood yet, did I? Maybe I was supposed to flood. Nate accepted my challenge. I got my opening hand, and then he scooped. No patience for that shit. I lose a close game and I'm getting rolled. Stare at the corner, D. Catch in a bit. Timber's up next. I'll find a win. I'm not worried. We'll get there. That's cool, Nate. We thought it was a fun combo. Nicely done. I had bounce everything coming up, so you needed to win that turn, or I had to reset. Waiting in the wings. You can keep this. Got a turn 2 play with the Elder, and even a turn 1 play if we had a island. We don't. There's my first pick. Really want an island off the top so we can Baron. Probably a free block there, but I just don't like risking my Elder here for 1 damage. Channel knows that. I kind of like opt now in case I can find an island, and then I can think twice. Yeah, that's fair. I just like this one, but... Okay, there's... I want to keep that. And I'm going to attack. I think Tranel finds the block, but I'm going to make him do it. really giving up 1 or 2 points with the crackback from the Wanderer. And yeah, we think twice. The end of Tranel's turn. Having a couple of bounce spells is nice because is this? Oh, this isn't. I was thinking of, this is the land finder, not the rare that grows. But so I'm going to think twice and probably just divide by 0 the arch. Get it out of the way. Or Baron it. Maybe Baron is the place to start. Yeah, whatever. I just want it out of the way so that our Elder connects. Yeah, so let's go Baron, and then the sack wouldn't affect... At least I get the Baron on board. And I'm probably playing Pathway on blue and just cycling the sandbar, but that will all take place after combat. Because I'll probably loot away a land here as well. Got a swamp to deal with. Yeah, so I'm going to pitch the swamp. And drop a Pathway on blue. And have sandbar cycle and still have a 5th land ready for the Dowser. I don't understand OP at all at this point, so I just don't know. We're just going to bounce the heck out of Tranel's 5-drops. Although maybe not before we copy it. Yeah, I think we bounce it now. We can kill this, bounce that. I like that. I'm going to keep being greedy here since we can cast our hand and pitch my mana sources. Even though at some point, you know, I don't mind getting to the 6, 7, 8, 9 mana range with this type of deck. But I'm going to be greedy. We have all our colors. We have 5 land. We can operate on 5 land. And if necessary, I can divide by 0 and get the sciences to find another one. In fact, I'm going to hold this for potential discard again. So I'm going to divide by 0. Maybe get the... Well, we'll see what we get. Let's start here, though. Yeah, it's just sciences, unless I'm going to rummage. I'm fine taking the sciences here. I should have cast it now, though. That was a mistake. What I was doing is I wanted to wait for the loot, but I should have just taken the extra point of damage. Yeah. My heuristic was wait till after combat for the looting. But maybe I'll find something here and we'll just hold the sciences till next turn even. Let's see what we find. No. What am I going to do? I'm going to still pitch the land and go ahead and play the sciences. I'm not going to compound my error. I think we might want, with 3 blue, 2 black. Well, we got so much blue in hand, I think we just continue to want more blue. And I will play it. Well, we can bounce, get in, and then have Conjecture, or we can just start the Conjecturing. with Opt, and we got Instance, and we have one sorcery to get. Could run the Departure out and the Conjecture. How about that? Yeah, I like that line hammer. Regardless, we'll silent and then Conjecture or Dowser. Yeah, I think we just go Conjecture here. Dowser, though, makes a 3/3, gets back a good removal spell, and we can still cast it and then Conjecture it again. Yeah, I'm just going to do this. Yeah, power on the board is worth it. Mike's right. Especially effectively 4 power that can attack through an Overgrown Arch. I liked that guy, but I also don't mind creature tokens with our bounce-filled deck. And I just think this is so powerful, though. And we can still get it back, so it's all right. Although, why isn't it? Did it get exiled or something? What happened? Oh, it was Rise. Got it. I got it. I forgot the other clause on Rise. So, I'm going to send in and do a kill and a bounce then. Or just Conjecture. All right. You can go Maze Mind, copy the Challenger Troll, and then we would have Flood of Tears. We'd have the claws on Flood of Tears, but we could also just Conjecture, get that going, get the command back again. It would be our only spell this turn. That's one of the things I'm thinking about here. You just want to get Conjecture going. What's the sorcery we're getting? Right now we only have the environmental sciences. That's my bigger concern, that like we don't have a great sorcery in the yard yet. But I don't want to cast either of these. Well, that's the thing. That's why that's why my leaning is to go Vizier, copy the 6/5, have a 6/5, and then start doing Conjecture stuff that can bounce and whatnot. So I'm going to do Vizier. Oh, and it's 4, so I even get to cast the Tome as well. Yeah, I like that. Hey, Lola Man, thank you for the host. Hello, Lola viewers. I'm battling viewers in the current Tinker's Cube, and we're gonna lose a critter. Elder or Mage? This is doing the least, I suppose. It has the best base stats, but this is the better card to have going right now. Hello, Torg. I just drafted the Tinker's Cube on MTGAdraft.tk. Boo. And I'm trying to find my first win. Don't have one yet. 0-2 to start. All right, I can live with that. Right now I've got blocks at least. Fat swings, we're just snap blocking. No worries there. All right. Scrying. No thanks on the swamp. And I'm going to go ahead and scry again. It's almost as good as drawing a card at this point when you're getting to choose, getting to move these lands to the bottom. Rankle? Yeah, Rankle's interesting. We can't really two-spell off a Rankle, and they have an easy Mire Triton block. Or Mire Triton sack if we choose sack a creature. But that's not great for us because then we're sacking Rankle. We could do a discard. Lots of choices here. We can get their lesson at the cost of one of our cards. I don't know if we care about the lesson given the conjecture. Kind of like, yeah, that's true. We can just pitch one of the sorceries since we don't have another one anyway. Okay, I'm in for that. Let's do that. I'm just going to discard, and the expertise doesn't actually seem that useful right now, so I'm going to pitch it, and we can get it back nonetheless. Things die, create a treasure. Yeah, I've got to no blocks this since we don't have a kill. Should have put a stop for the tome in case we wanted to scry again. But 7. What are we doing with 7? I think we're just getting back our Silumgars at this point. With the extra mana, we can just straight draw off the tome. But also, if we flood, what is that doing? Not enough. So I'm going to conjecture here. We now do have double blocks on Troll if we want it, which is why I left Rankle back. As a Death Toucher, it would get them both. But if all of this died and then we had the command and the flood and everything past that. Oh, Troll does force single blocks. That's fair. Read the card, Ryan. That's interesting. I wonder what the attack's going to be. Just the Triton? All right. Could block with Rankle, but with Command, we have some tools. Although we're trying to command on Chapter 3. Depends on whether we want to... If we command next turn, then we could Flood of Tears to reset the Conjecture. This is where this gets complicated. Treasure token, so you get a couple with this. At 10, we can't just take Reaper stuff forever. I think we make the trade. Trying to take my trades and win a long game here. Yeah, I might be being too conservative, Mike, but I am just nervous about life total in the context of a talisman attack every turn. All right, all right. So now do we want the sciences or the expertise? Probably the sciences. Because we also drew a thing that's going to make a bunch of creatures we don't want to kill. Although we could cast the expertise first, but to what end? Yeah, so I'm going to go sciences. And try to cast it next turn, double up. And I think we just spend this turn stealing this by the Fae. Maxing out our mana there. Yeah, swing and just, like, they can't really block. So that's fair. If they block, we get to command. All right, so yeah, I like that. We can attack, given that we do have the stolen to solve the problem. Flood is a sorcery, unsurprisingly. But I'm going to Fae the troll here. I was really excited when we drafted the Stolen by the Fae, for sure. I think we just block all here, although I'm also going to just see what's coming. Island, we'll put that on the bottom. And gang block, and we only lose one of our flyers, so let's do that. We also know their only card. Whenever you gain life... Oh, the talisman gained him some life. And then what's this? Oh, this is our... we're now doubling. So... Really, I like Silumgar's command, putting 2 -3s on the troll, bouncing the aerialist, and like bouncing a parallel lives. And then we can even environmental sciences as well. So we're going to return this target permanent and give this -3. And then we're going to return this target permanent and give this -3, -3. I think you have to copy the chosen modes, but fortunately in this case I wanted to copy those modes anyway. Baked into a pie gives some food to survive the swing for 4. And we are going to play this known... Well, actually, that's compulsive. But I'll Mystic first. And I'm going to compulsive. Pitching the known swamp. Dropping an island with blink up. Swing away. I think that's it. All the known cards here don't stop 3 damage, so air toss. Air toss.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
Hairs down. Got my win. Now let's see if I can bring it even. Next up is David Vero in his first Gauntlet appearance. Nice, Jim. Well, it's one of those complicated decks to play. A lot of little choices, a lot of value to extract, but what's the best value, you know? One second. Looks good. Good game, Timber. Ooh, I still have coffee. Wow. What a great day. Well, don't want too much more mana, but locking up our red isn't the worst. We don't have any red spells right now, though. I'd feel silly if we draw it, though. I'm gonna do that. I'll keep it.
Everything's coming up Millhouse.
That card's fun, but not great against bounce, which we have a lot of. Not going to use the blink now, and we can just divide by 0 on our next turn. And then save the blink for a kick. What to fetch with the divide? I practically want to rummage. I might. You'd wait? I don't want to do nothing. Oh, it is instant. That's true. Yeah, I should wait on that front. You're right. I was thinking this was a sorcery. I don't read cards. I let chat tell me.
please! I can't read your crazy moon language!
Now we'll do it, though. And yeah, we can get the sciences, the teachings. Those are our 3 lessons, but we might just be in loot mode here. Rummage mode, get rid of the swamp. Or even get rid of the evolving wilds. I kind of like the idea of thinning the deck, but I want to play a basic land next turn for the blink. So I think rummaging the evolving wilds is where I want to be here. Yeah, I like that. Worked out. That's much better. Heck, we can get it back and get something else. Yahenni's expertise, also interesting. We don't really have a permanent to play. We can cast a spell. I guess we don't need to even... But let's see. I actually like getting the Dowser down first, so I'm going to blink. We're going to blink, Dowser, and then expertise, making this a 4/4, shrinking, killing everything, and then casting whatever we get back for free. I like that. Or whatever we might draw from here off the blink, even. It might not dodge it with my sequencing, though. Let's also see what David does. David was saying he's going to be very annoyed by my deck, and I can see why now if he's looking to augment creatures with counters and stuff. I'm just looking to not use my mana, and having David replay the champ yet again is fine. Basically, I'm hoping we catch the champ in a sweep. But if not, and this is where I might not, I just shouldn't be greedy here. I can play the Dowser, but if any of this stuff gets a chance to grow, that could be rough. If the champ grows, yeah. You're right. I'm trying to get too much value. Three for one is good enough, right, gang? That's grown-up magic. Welcome back, D. Jeskai Elder, along with Bond of Insight. That maxes the spells. There's my, that's my Slack you're hearing, yes. Sometimes my friends pipe up on Slack. I should really mute that so it doesn't confuse people. Yeah, let's just do Elder and Bond. Six-1 is chat's personal best, yes. That's happened once. That's where we got the Lotus sleeves. And... Instant Andor, interesting. I don't even need to, I can just take them all. Well, I want a compulsive. And I suppose with what we've seen from David's deck, we just want the sweeper back. That's a lot of value. I wouldn't mind the blink, but I think I'm in for that. I'll take those two back. That's true. I could have left the sweeper in the yard and gotten it back with the Dowser. Still might. Maybe we sweep and get it back. And let's open on a compulsive here. I think I want it like... We have double black. Rankle. Expertise. Rankle's already in the yard. So nothing to cast for double black. So I'm going to go black, black, blue for the research. And then we have a swamp to play if we need to. I'm going to discard this swamp because the Blood Crypt could help us play the lesson, the red-red lesson out of our board. And what am I playing this turn? Nothing really, so I'm going to attack with Elder, loot, and then see. Think twice. So now I like pitching the swamp again and playing the crypt tapped and just having think twice for end of turn. Get out of here, fruit flies. All right, that's probably just going to be big, right? We don't have any targets. I'm going to keep playing land because we're just have so much to do here. But I do like Archmage on Autumn to keep attacks going. And even do the Dowser as well. No, not yet. She emailed me, or she contacted me a few days ago, Dee, to say she had just sent them. So it is not a surprise that they're not here yet, but they are in the mail. Stolen by the Fae, so good. I kind of want to leave the Dowser for that, but I also want to get power on board for attack, so I'm not going to be too greedy. We'll take whatever Dowser has for us in the yard. Probably just more compulsive, although I don't want to deck myself. How are we doing? 12 cards. Yeah, I don't even want compulsive anymore. I want divide or blink. I'm going to go blink. I don't mind drawing one card, but divide is interesting because I draw a card, but I get it out of my board. Really want this 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So one more land, and I can bounce this and make 1,000,000 tokens. But maybe I'm just being too greedy there as well, and we're fine with 3. We could wait though. Right now we can't do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we are. We need a land to be able to hit a 7 with the stolen. But we can try and find that. We got Think Twice and we got Blink that we can cast both of here. Yeah, we could do that. Although it's not even really doing anything. But it's not the worst to do that either. I think starting then Think Twice just to see what we draw. Yeah, Think Twice into Expertise is interesting as well. Well, I'll start with a Think Twice. Well, think twice into expertise even leaves our Elder alive, which I think is why that was suggested. But now we can Mystic to get our creatures going. But still, yeah, expertising here is still pretty interesting. I don't really have anything I want to play for free, but it does... Especially since it leaves the Elder alive, let's do it. And... then I could take out the Procession. But again, I just don't want to do any of that. I'm going to decline. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll regret not feeding that. It's not doing anything right now. And we're going to try and win in the air, so I don't, you know, I'm kind of expecting Big Giant. And really, we just want to land. Flood of Tears. We're just going to depart this thing. But let's Mystic first. Mystic and Blink. Heck, Mystic. Yeah, Mystic Blink makes sense to me. Use the mana. We're at 9 cards. That's okay. I'll copy Giant when it comes down next time. But we might not even need to, Mike. We just bounce it forever and win. That's plan A. And are we looting in this situation? Yeah. And I actually think we can ditch the tome. I don't know if we're going to have enough time for it. Flood of Tears might be the thing that we're not really ever trying to cast this game. I think I ditched that. I think if we're casting Flood of Tears in our situation, it's gone really sideways. Reacher could be real, but I think we're just going to command here, bounce and bounce the 1/1, kill the 2/3, or even bounce the Procession. But again, the Procession just doesn't seem to be doing anything. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I guess we can play this. And then if we depart our own, we get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we depart our own bird for the win. Exactsies. All right.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
Brought it even. Always fun to keep it close. Good game, David. I see why you were not excited about facing my bounce-heavy deck with you trying to make some Voltron-ish counter-filled creatures. Was not playing friendly with your plan, that's for sure. Next up is Tron. That looks good. Got our swamp here effectively. Cycle the sandbar after we island opt to open. Opt into Maze Mind into cycling for action. Heck, maybe I cycle first. At this point, we might find a payoff for casting spells. So I think I am going to do that, and we'll probably just take Slaughter Priest out with the feed. Yeah, or Jeskai Elder, we could play that first. I'm in for the Elder. Make him have it. Although, boy, with a cube deck, cube Steel and Sack, we could see Claim the Firstborn, Sacrifice right off the bat here. I'm glad that we didn't. I assume Claim the Firstborn is in here if Slaughter Priest is, but there's a lot of a lot of steel spells, so maybe that one isn't in. Now I am thinking, well, we could Depart and Maze Mind. Make him replay before we reset. Open mana is somewhat of a concern, but I'm going to start with the Depart. Ah, interesting. Acceptable. Now we'll tome it up. Put an upkeep stop in case we want to scry then. And certainly gonna loot. No red yet. We could just pitch this given the lack of red. Which I think we do. I mean, we might be able to find red soon enough, but I'm just gonna ditch the card I can't play. We have a lot of ways to get it back later if we decide we want it. And now the coffee's gone. Oh, this is the Minotaur dude, right? Okay, haste 2/4. Whenever you discard a card, deals 1 damage to each opponent, and you can discard, you can rummage while attacking. Got it. Got it until I forget anyway. I might forget soon enough. Evolving Wilds could get us the red, but I've already pitched our splash. And I think we would... I don't have any draw I'm really looking for, so I'm actually going to hold on to the Maze Mind counter and just accept whatever's off the top. All draws felt reasonable, so I didn't want to use my scry in a situation where I was unlikely to think, well, I don't want that. You know, I would take just about anything. And we will go swamp, feed, holding up Maze Mind to draw seems reasonable. I'm going to do that. And we do get to loot again. I maybe should have drawn first if I was going to do the looting thing, but this is okay. Yeah, we get a pretty easy discard. I mean, at some point we want lands, but we can still cast everything we've got, so I'm still going to be greedy. And I'm going to pay 2 to draw before we untap.
The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that greed is good.
Each player mills 3. It's actually a concern for us because we pretty aggressively plow through our deck. No, you can play whatever there's no etiquette. If it's in the cube and you draft it, you can play it. If you want to play them both, play them both. Although, hopefully you have lots of learn, and you keep them in your sideboard as lessons that you secure. Ooh, draw before or after the mill? I'm going to draw before. Oh, we lost our Conjecture. That's too bad. We can divide by 0 and potentially even just rummage again. And do that. And I am going to be drawing again off the tome. So I'm just going to attack now. Rummage again. I'm not going to draw now because I actually have something I want to rummage already, or loot already. Put this upkeep stop in case I want to draw a scry. What was the X? 1, 2, 3, 4. So probably just looking to kill the Elder. X of 2. Do I know what they're doing? I guess I get to find out, right? So if they go for the kill, I can opt to keep it alive. Yeah, but okay, they're returning anyway. Couple of options there. Scry here. What am I doing on turn right now? Probably Silent Departure opt, which we have. If I want to take 2, we can do. So I'm going to scry. Mystic, you say? I think we keep it, but I'm going for Dream Strix this turn, I think. Yeah, Dream Strix on Orcus is the plan there. And we'll start working the Mystic next turn. So I'm going to go Dream Strix, tapped Crypt. Hold the opt, try to get Mystic value out of it. I guess they just kill the Strix with the Immolator if they don't want to trade it for Orcus, but that's fine too, to make that trade. Blood Artist. I've mentioned this before on stream, but sometimes there's little Easter eggs in the art that the community doesn't figure out till later. Can't remember who figured it out or who mentioned it publicly the first time I saw it, but if you look at the art on Blood Artist, it's from the perspective of the victim. Sees the vampire is painting this what looks like a bloody woman. Well, that's you, because the artist is looking right at the source to keep painting, right? So kind of a creepy realization that it's from the perspective of the subject of the art. Indeed, Heartfire going after. our Strix. Going to take some damage here and try to depart our way out of this somehow. I think I am just going to get a... Let's see, like... But even with them at 3 cards, we could take the teachings and may even be able to get cards out of it. We at least get the natural, like at least draw 2, right? Oh no, if I have more, I get nothing. So that's a little risky. I'm just going to take the sciences for the life race and... I just don't know that with all this action that I'm going to get below them on cards. So I don't want to get the thing that has the possible nothing. I'm not going to opt at end of turn, though. I'm going to save it for some damage on the follow. Because we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Mystic is 4, 5, 6 to get a land, and 7 for the opt. Yeah, that's by design, Sax. That's the thing. That's why it's totally cool. Oh, Dowser. I got my sweeper. Sweeper not in here. The trample is rough. It means the birds aren't really going to get it done. But I could Dowser the departure and bounce the priest. They would have another casting of the priest, though, which is not exactly what I want. But I also want to live. Living is good. I think we have enough to go Mystic. Do the Mystic play still. Yeah, opt looking for our sweepers, not a bad plan in general. And I think we want... Well, I could get the red, and then if we lessen... I'm going to get the red just to have all of our options. No, I need blue to opt. That's the plan. Never mind. I got there. Sometimes you have a plan, and then your brain changes it midstream. Well, so I already have red, but we do have a double red lesson. But still, casting opt now is important enough to me to do. And I am going to send the Elder. No wilds. Yeah. I'll do this since we're... Hey, that's something we can potentially win with. Although if we bounce Orcus with Stolen by the Fae, Orcus can just come down and wipe everything. So that's not the best of the best, but we are going to pitch... Well, Bond would really help us find our sweeper if we think that's what we really need to get out of this, or to, to win this with 13 cards left. I'm going to ditch the Baron since I don't want to bounce the Orcus, and bouncing these is marginal. And if Tron plays out something else, we can Stolen by the Fae. That would be cool. And yeah, we can bounce our own. Ideally, Tron does something that we want to bounce instead, but that's an interesting backup plan. It depends on where life is at. But also, we can depart before we sweep if we need to do that as well. 4, 5, 6, 7. So we find a land off the top, we can Stolen by the Fae that thing. And gonna let Tron draw a card here and eat the gutter bones, but it's all right. Got to do what you got to do. Well, we can do that. That gets us out of some stuff, but to what end? Yeah, we're kind of wrecked either way. I guess we could... Yeah, Bond doesn't do it. Kind of need a Flood of Tears just to not die. Can we get... We can't get the permanents down to be able to replay something, which is a bummer. I guess it's all we got. I think we're losing this one, but this is kind of all we've got. So I'm going to do it. In fact, we might just be dead on Orcus getting back something with haste. But I think we were just dead and looking for... reaching for chances, but didn't find any. Got a creature land, so we're just way dead. Make sure Tron finds it, but Tron is in how do you want to win land here. You just do it any way he wants. Or maybe it's not that easy, but I really think Tron can win this turn. He's just looking for the right line. I would respect that, of course, Raptor, if Tron is just looking to control the board for another turn. Although the board, pretty well controlled here. You can't really control a controlled board. There we go. He figured it out. Good job, Tron.
He's dead, sir.
That man's dead back there. Must be dead. He was worse than dead. His brain is gone.
All right, I got to win back-to-back if I'm going to win the week here. He's beaten me many times. I think you're projecting. Good game, Tron. D is suggesting that the mere thought of you beating me was causing you to tremble in excitement, screaming to the void, "I'm going to beat Ryan," as though it is a life goal you've never achieved or something. Not great in that we don't have a 2, but pretty great otherwise. We got all our colors and we got some action. I like this. Found a 2-drop, not one we can cast, though. I would divide just about anything by 0 that hits the battlefield that we can. Except that. I don't know if I want to give an extra land. So what's our alternative? I guess I can... is this exile? I wish this was exile. I'm just going to play this tapped and not worry about the Pilgrim yet. What's exciting you about your weekend? True? Just its existence, or is there something special coming up? Divide is instant speed. I suppose I could have played a land untapped on that strength. But I really didn't have anything for 4 either, so it's fine to just play the Divide now. Again, this looks like a good deck against our bounce, since so far everything is ETB'd for value. Maybe I just go with feed here on Pia. Hey, just a little thing. Just a tiny thing for True. Just datifying himself. That is awesome. Congrats. Well, if we divide, though, what are we dividing? There's nothing we're dividing happily is my problem. I kind of just want to take out Pia while we can before we get too far into it. That's what I'm going to do. Ouch! Taking some damage, and then I'm going to take some damage. But then, hopefully, we can stabilize with what we have behind. No jokes there. How about... You can Silumgar at instant speed. Got a lot to do at instant speed here. I think we just hold. Worried about that Heliod, though. I'd like Chimero to spend some resources on continuing to buff these. Yeah, so Sparring Regimen. There we go. So we're looking for a little extra spend, and now we can command. Send this to hand, and -3/-3 this. And I like Dowser getting that back now. Can't destroy the indestructible. If it was, I was looking to see if feed was exile, but it's not. So we'll get command. Yeah, I suppose I could do the regimen, but I feel like we have the bounce to manage the ongoing tokens. I don't know. I mean, this bounces too, right? So, I like this. Now Overload can get the feed back as well. Doesn't create much of a thing yet. Yeah, Oppo with all of the ETB effects that make my bounce much less interesting. But we can still command away one and kill the other. I think we need to kill this Pyromancer. So I'm going to go ahead and fire this off again. And at At 12 to 23, am I even attacking? I think so. We are effectively going to, what, 8? Potentially 7? Again, this Heliod's going to be really tough to beat in the long haul. So, got to get in some cracks while I can. As I said, the Heliod lifelink can be tough to deal with. Certainly wasn't expecting that much damage. That's kind of funny. We can just reset everything here. Is it worth it? Can also just, I think, just bounce this thing, reset everything that way. I'm just gonna do that. And divide by 0 can bounce something else at instant speed before we untap. And we almost have Chimero back down to starting life totals. Almost, but here it goes in the wrong direction again. I like Chimero's value train better than mine. I just don't know how to beat a Heliod here. And these extremes of matchup are another thing in Cube, where you can have a decent looking deck, but it's like, oh, in this matchup, my deck is just a rock to their paper and I have no chance. I'm not saying that's exactly what's happening here. I'm saying that's part of the reason that Cube makes me nervous. I can at least send Heliod back to hand. Might be worth it. Maybe send the sword back to hand. It's not as clean as, it's not a pure crushing of a matchup, but it's obviously like, compare this to the matchup with David, where everything he was doing was about building up counters on creatures in play. That was so easy, and now I've got all these bounce choices, none of them good because they can get the value back down. Do it on blocks, but I mean, we're going to my turn. If I don't do it now, I'm leaving the mana fallow, and I don't want to do that. That's why I'm doing it now. But I don't want... Maybe just put it on the sword. I'm going to send the sword back. As I say, it should still work, right? Because my target is still there. Now I'm getting so out-carded, I could almost, except the trouble is a lot of it is from the graveyard. So I actually still can't take the teachings. I can illuminate, but I like my hand-ish. So I could also loot, I could rummage. I think we're gonna stolen the resto. So I'm just gonna get the sciences. And stolen on a 4-drop is gonna take 6. Let's do that. Yeah, clone the angel is reasonable to do before, but what I can then clone... What, clone... And then blink Baron to bounce the resto? That works too. And then gives us a flyer. That's fair. I'll do the mic line. think I'm a clone now. Doesn't seem to be anyone around. I've had that song stuck in my head of late because of watching the Umbrella Academy. I should have been scienced again. Now I'm leaving damage on the table once more. Boo. Bad Ryan. Too busy singing. Not gonna not do it, though. I went for singing value instead of damage value. So just blocking with Angel, we take 4 and trade off. That's good enough. What do we got in here? We can command to kill it. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can overload command, however, well, ward 1. I mean, we can stolen by the Fayette. How are we Dob? Oh, it's a spear. 3 to any target. Well, then we need to not be Dobbs. That means if we because we can get sciences for 2 life, so we can get to 4, but then we also have to block the sword. Right, but we can get to 4 life is what I'm saying. And in order to do that, though, we must overload. So really got to start there. And then just see, I just don't know how to deal with the like, I get it, but we have stolen by the Fae. This is a 2-drop. Oh, it's so close. We're 1 mana away. But this truly is, I mean, it has to start here. Because we need life, or we're just straight dead. So we have to get the environmental sciences back. That's just a must. So we may just be dead, but it starts with environmental sciences. And then I'll see if I can work it out from here. But again, this is where we're 1 mana short, I believe, or 2. Although this mana value X, so we bounce our own weird, and then we get a Fae token, although it's X of 0. So we get 0 tokens. Darn it. Darn it. Well, let's send in, maybe Chimero blocks. But I'm going to do it anyway for style points. All right, I've lost the week. Now I got to see if I can keep it respectable with one more win. Yeah, that was a terrible matchup for my deck for sure. Bounce sucks against ETB land. Good game. What am I supposed to do when my hand is full of bounce and your board is full of ETB? Lose, I guess. That's what happened. How does this look? Yeah, all right, I like this. Even like that we've got a Maze Mine for 2 for turn 2. I'm going to play this as land. Maze Mine doesn't trigger the Mystic, so we can go Maze Mine, Dreamstrix, Mystic, and then start casting our instants and sorceries. Might be a spot where, again, I don't bother using the Maze Mine. I'm pretty happy with whatever we draw here. That might need to die, and we got Feed the Swarm to do that. So I'm going to hold on. I don't need to use the Maze Mine here. I have things I want to do, and any draw is fine at this point. Dreamstrix could threaten to block it. I just don't know. If we go Dreamstrix, Murmuring Mystic, Feed the Swarm, Clarion Spirit could spit out a couple of 1/1s before we got a handle on it. So I'm going to get rid of it. And again, now I may do some scrying. I don't want to draw more land now. Jank in the blue-white might have all those curiosities we were passing. Conjecture. Powerful enough I'm going to keep it even though it's not powerful yet. We're going to drop a Mystic here. If we can. Now I want to start digging for Mystic triggers unless... all right. That's actually not the worst. I don't mind a little tempo hit there. Nice card. I'm going to go Scry, but then I'm going to hold to draw. I think I might go Strix Draw coming up. Interesting. With what Jank has been showing, I think this card's going to be quite good. And rather than... I was going to go Strix Draw a card off Tome, but now I kind of just want a Mystic. Although, obviously, Expertise is going to kill whatever we Mystic, so there is an argument for going with the Strix, looking to trade it off, drawing a card, and then setting up the Mystic next turn. I think I'm going to do that. Mike, I like your line. Okay, I think they're somewhat equivalent here. I like getting some actual card draw out of the Maze Mine Tome if we're not under a ton of pressure. That's kind of why I'm doing it this way. Although Expertise playing the Mystic or the Dream Strix off the expertise is also cool. Big life gain action. I didn't click it in time. It had already put me to my main phase. Stolen by the Fae is going to be strong eventually. I could offer Dream Strix, send in Dream Strix, and potentially, if they try to eat, go for the expertise. But really, I think just opting here with Mystic opt is fine. Might lose some 1/1s before when I expertise, but this is a fine place to start at least. Could even potentially, if they go for an attack, opt and double block Strix plus 1/1 to try and get the Archon. Yeah, Magic Online has much finer control over your stop situation. Take down indeed. What are we gonna learn? We could probably take the I mean, I don't think they're going to be probably at 4 cards. We can opt to get to a 4th card. We draw a 5th. We play a land. We're back to 4. We play a spell, and then we play the. But we're drawing another card here. We keep having too many cards to take teaching is the thing. So I'm going to get sciences. Divide by 0. Once again, not the best for creatures, but this is spell or permanent, and we can bounce this thing. I'll keep that. And I want to get a card out of the tome, so I'm going to just untap with the tome. And we can go sciences, find a land, that's 4 land. Then we're dividing and making flyers, which is okay. I'll do this. Get this. Play that. And we could think and draw as well if we don't want to divide yet. Kind of like that. That's instant. But I'm going to do it now in case we find something we want to cast. We're not going to use red, so let's do this. Like a Night Veil Sprite, which we will cast. Although we got the expertise, maybe I should wait on it and just draw a card. See if we can get some value. I mean, we can chump anytime. I just don't feel the need to chump yet. And if I'm planning to expertise, I should, but I'm not necessarily planning to expertise yet. Well, that's a little uncomfortable. Just trying to figure out how to deal with this Archon. Jank ended up in the deck. I was eyeing through pack 1. We had a lot of blue, and the white was there. We almost went white-blue skies, banked into black-blue spells, basically, instead. And now I'm going to draw, see what we get, and make some blocking decisions based on that. Dowser's interesting. Yeah, we can't just let him draw cards forever. So even if we don't get the Archon, I think Mike is right. Time to expertise. Especially since Jank's creatures are about to get out of range. 6 out there. You can play a 7th land. That gives us Yahennies and a follow-up 3-drop as well. So we can even like bounce the Obelisk or something like that. But yeah, we'll send in the 1/1, but not the Mystic in case they bounce block the Mystic. That would make us unable to expertise. This telegraphs. I bet at 26 Jank just takes it, but knowing my deck, he may just be expecting the expertise here. And sure, I'm going to go Night Veil Sprite. Doesn't really matter. We've got the 3 mana for the Divide by 0 at instant speed on Oppo's turn, along with the Think Twice if we want to do that instead. So that's why I liked that play. Oh, I forgot the Paladin class text, so now I can't cast the Divide by 0. Where are them curiosities? Well, we get to Dowser back our sweeper at least. I'm gonna say no blocks here. Could also Conjecture to get some stuff back. We got 7 mana, potentially 8 off a compulsive, although we'd probably pitch land. 20 cards, so that's pretty deep. What removal do we have? That's another problem. Not a ton of removal, hard removal, just a lot of bounce. Silumgar's Command. But 4 toughness is a magic number against us in a lot of ways. So yeah, Dowser gets back our kill spell. I'm just figuring out if it should be compulsive greedy first. But probably not. That's fine. We'll do that. Oops, I let auto tap get me. That's all right. We can get it next time. I think we do want this over the Conjecture. You'd even asked me, I was like, oh, don't be lazy, Ryan. And I was lazy, and it, of course, got me. No attacks. Try and feed that Archon. Lazy tapper, man. That's all right. I've already lost the week and my hair's already safe. It's kind of an exhibition match. There's the Curiosity plan I was a bit worried about. And now, how much damage am I willing to take here? 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I don't like going to 6, so I'm going to chump. especially given that I need to feed the swarm. We can feed and potentially divide and have enough chumps in the air to not lose. And we can eventually get back our sweeper for the big action. But I'm starting here because just the thing has to die. Feed the Slither Blade. I don't know. Everything's got to die. We can at least bounce the Slither Blade and lose the Curiosity. But now, maybe I'm supposed to just bounce the... Yeah, that's interesting. We can bounce our own spell. Yeah, like Radian's and Mike's line here. Certainly not getting anything out of the Archaic, so we can get Illuminate, but really we should probably pitch from hand. And I need this to cast my spell again, because I probably let Auto Tapper screw me yet again. So let's say... Might be Compulsive is the thing that we need least here. Need these two. Want this one for long-term value, and Stolen more important than Compulsive, although if we're not bouncing, I guess we can bounce this and get some value. So yeah, I'm going to ditch Compulsive. Well, it's my fault at this point, right? If I'm going to be lazy about the tapper, I can't really complain about it. So, now are we in a spot where we need to go for the Slither Blade? Probably. Does less damage and we can chump Archon forever. Chump the Flyers forever. Heck, can even send the Dowser and would trade for either of these. Man, a lot of life gain in this cube. I feel like every opponent has been just at over 30. Maybe it's just recently. My recent opponents have all been gaining life, but feeling like I have to do 400 damage to win a game here. Maybe we win by decking? So far, I've been the one plowing through my deck, but Jank is cruising through theirs. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8. So we can bounce 6s with Stolen. Might have to do bounce the Archon just for the sheer volume of blockers it would provide. And I am going to chump both rather than save chumps for the 4s every time. Triple block 3/3 was certainly a possibility. I just didn't want to take any more of the damage, and felt like we can just create a bunch more of these and be okay. So I'm gonna probably play the land tapped. Fae at 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, we'd have 2 anyway, and that's not anything worth writing home about. So I'm gonna go ahead and bounce the Archon. Create 5 flyers to help us with the defensive game, and then we can send the Dowser. Try to get our opponent, you know, below 30. Back-breaking. I needed that to work. I'm just going to scoop it up and go shopping, gang. Well played. You didn't get my hair, but you got some of my gems. Good work, gang. I don't care, Tron. Moving on. Good game, Jank. Well, I'm gonna say, like, you know, a 500 gem type purchase is what we're looking at for 5 wins. We could get this thing. That's got a cool sleeve on it. This is a little pricey. Kaya. Let's go see. Yeah, Kaya for 400. Or Inexorable Sleeve for 300. That seems like a much worse sleeve than this. This is just a avatar, though. So I think I'll put it to a poll, and yeah, we can get Kaya herself. Is this you want to see sleeves? Sure. It's all too expensive, though. You didn't win 6 times or anything. Is that a bundle? I doubt you've earned a land bundle. Yeah, sorry, you didn't earn a land bundle. That's a 6-win type affair right there. Unless I'm missing something. Is it over here? These? Yeah. Sorry, gang. That's a... You got a 6-win to go shopping in that territory. We're talking 500 or less here for your 5 wins. So, Thopter bundle, which does have sleeves and a pet that we can not use. So, Thopter for the bundle. Kaya or sleeve. Sleeve just means Kaya sleeves. Oh, everybody was muted today. Yeah, I didn't have emotes on. Let's see. 60 seconds. Thopter's Thopter bundle. Kaya is that a Kaya avatar? I assume that's Kaya avatar. And yeah, you all are nice, but I'm never sorry about not turning on emotes. Like, they're just the worst. I mean, what? So I can say hi to you in game? I'll say hi to you before the game and after. So I'm just trying to, yeah, I'm going to go Kaya, and then sleeves is Kaya sleeves. Thopter for the Thopter bundle, Kaya for the Kaya avatar, or sleeves for the Kaya sleeves. Your choice. Good job, chat. You see what I mean, though? Cube is just nerve-wracking. There was nothing wrong with my deck in the abstract. But went 2-5, and the losses weren't particularly close. I never felt really in it when I was losing. I guess, I mean, the second loss was close. Like, I was a turn away from stabilizing, but my deck, which I liked, was up against it with bad matchups for most of the day today. Yeah, it was great against David, and then really weak against at least 4 of the decks in the field, and that was a big problem. Did I not do the poll? Oh, this poll got it. That's fine. Looks like Kaya sleeves are crushing it. Or do I have to go to the daily deals to find them? They're not in the sleeve sections. All right. Kaya sleeves. Join the pantheon of chat trophies. It's going to be tough for Mama to figure out what to choose now. Although the Lotus sleeves from the 6-1 are still the kind of premium chat prize. Nice. Well, gang, playing against you all helps keep me off tilt, too. I bet if I was playing against randos, I'd be all salty and mad, but instead, it's my friends who drafted great decks and beat me with them. What am I supposed to do? Glad I got a couple wins out of it. Well done, well played. Enjoy your sleeves. I hope you had fun with that. YouTube friends, we'll catch you the next draft. Have a great weekend. No, I didn't. You got a code to enter? Let's do that. Whoa. Oh, is that the, like, celebration bundle or something? That's a lot of stuff.